Way to get pumped up for Wednesday morning or afternoon, depending on where in the country you're at. My name's Adam Belansky, CEO of Sierra Pacific Group and also founder and creator of the ConnectWise Boss Facebook community. And I am thrilled to be here again today, Wednesday morning, to enjoy another Pitch It Live session. And I'm going to bring on Sean Lardo. Sean, where are you at? There you are, buddy. And you're muted. This is so awesome. And there he goes. I'm going to go ahead and speak for Sean. Shows him disconnecting his audio. But this is the Pitch It Live. So during Pitch It Live, we are going to bring on a couple of contestants. And it is a 16-week course, really focusing on the initiatives which Jason McGee set out a few years ago, which is easier to do business with ConnectWise, right? Even more invested in partner growth and more innovation faster. And Pitch It is really key to this particular piece, right? We have this year 25 contestants or 26 contestants in the competition. It is amazing. So first place, $70,000. Second place, $30,000. And third place, well, you're the first loser or third loser, whatever you want to call it. But you get a 16-week program over the summer, get to know your pitch, get to refine your pitch, and get coaching education. Super amazing program. And I'm thrilled to be part of this, share this with our community here, because there is a lot of really awesome innovation. And ConnectWise and the Pitch It program is really, really great foundation and been a really great thing to get to know more the contestants and so forth. So what I'm going to do is Sean is usually here, but I'm going to go ahead and bring on Larry with DataStream. How you doing, Larry?
Hey, Adam. How are you?
Doing very good. Sorry, Sean is having technical difficulties today, so I'm just going to run this thing by myself.
Well, at Sean's age, it's tough for him to kind of understand all this technology. And yes, folks, I'm going to be paying for this later as soon as Sean sees this, but that's okay. We're good friends.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about DataStream Cyber Insurance. What do you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Larry Meador. I'm the channel chief with DataStream Cyber Insurance, and we're a specialist cyber insurance only broker. We've got about 40 carriers in our portfolio, and we're here to be a resource for MSPs, MSSPs, because, when it comes to cyber insurance in general, hey, you got to be licensed to really talk about the financials involved in insurance. You got to be licensed to sell insurance. So we're licensed in all 50 states. We're licensed up in Canada, with the exception of Quebec. And we're here to be that resource to kind of help educate you guys, help you learn how to introduce the cyber insurance conversation with your customers. We're here to assist your customers. We have a universal application. Matter of fact, we just launched our collaborative universal application. So the customer fills it out once. We go and do all the legwork and come back with quotes. But while they're in that collaborative application, if they come across some questions they don't know the answer to, they can send an invite to their MSP and say, hey, Sean, come over here and help me out in this application. Whereas the MSP can come in there, answer some of the technical questions, turn it back over to the customer. The customer submits that application over to us. We find them quotes. When we get the quotes, we explain it to them in depth. We let them know what's going on in this policy, what they're responsible for, and then we'll bind it. And then at the end of the sales process, we also help them with their incident response plan, their disaster recovery plan. We actually launched a new incident response plan builder, and that is now live on our site. And then we also do tabletop testing and all of that stuff. We know MSPs are some of the busiest people in the world, so we're trying to do what we can to free up some time so that you guys can focus on selling what you need to do. And hey, that's the other thing where we get to help you guys is that cyber insurance and the carrier requirements, it's driving cybersecurity spends. So we're here to help you guys. We're here to reinforce what you're telling your customers. And what we're seeing is we're actually accelerating the sales cycle, and we're actually even reinvigorating dormant sales cycles. So Adam, in about 2 minutes, that's what we do.
So yeah, safety net insurance policy. And cyber insurance is one of those difficult things to get covered. It's extremely challenging, and I'm just trying to see, like, how I want to dig into that just a little bit here before we bring on our next guest. Is I just there's so much to know about cybersecurity, and keep people get denied quite often, and it's like, well, hey, what do you guys do different? What's the unique piece that you guys bring?
Well, the unique piece that we bring, number one, is all we specialize in is cyber insurance. So we're a specialist here. We understand the marketplace. We talk with the carriers, all of that good stuff. But more importantly, we also talk with all the MSPs and MSSPs out there, so that we stay on top of what's going on, what you're doing, how you're working with your customer. And, a lot of the things that we do is just kind of help educate and get rid of some of those myths that are out there regarding cyber insurance, because there's a whole bunch of them. But we're here to just kind of help educate, help your sales team. If they come across objections, we work with the sales team to help them overcome those objections. And it usually works really, really well from what I've seen so far in doing this for the past 18 months.
Nice, excellent. So that's really fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and bring on our next guest. So I'm going to put you back in the green room.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Shy, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you very much, Adam. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Excited to have you here. So, Shy, you are from Kamanja, is that right?
Absolutely right.
And where do you come from?
I'm from Israel, and here is evening, so you didn't say good evening, everyone. So,
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about Kamanja. What do you guys do?
yeah, so Kamanja provide the next generation of compliance services. We call it Unified Compliance as a Service for MSPs and MSSP. We aim we take the compliance and take it and put it into a journey. And we believe that compliance is a journey that never ends. So we simplify the process and we automate it and we make it easier for MSP and MSSP to implement it and create new stream of revenue from it.
Wow, that's so dealing with compliance automatically, easily. It sounds like is kind of what you do, and it's a platform. And is it integrated into ConnectWise ecosystem, or is it, I guess, give me a little bit more details on kind of what that entails. Is there a dashboard? Is there something like that?
Yeah, so it's a SaaS platform, multi-tenancy SaaS platform, that the MSP can log in, start the journey of the compliance. During the compliance, they may need more solution, such as vulnerability assessment, such as risk assessment with automatic reports, incident report, training and awareness, and many, many more things that the compliance journey requested from to do. We aim to put everything in a single platform, all in one platform, that do it very simple and easily for them. So when they do the audit, they don't need jungling between so many platforms, and made it easy. This is our goal. Made it easy, simplify the process, because compliance is a very complex. When it comes to ConnectWise, we integrate it with them, with all the PSA integration and etc. Our tool is connected into RMM to spread our agents and etc. to collect many things from the environments.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's just looking at your website here. It looks like pen testing, asset management, internal external auditing. It sounds like the whole picture. And I'm going to bring Larry on here. And it sounds like you guys actually work together quite often.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely we do. Shai is
Yeah.
a good friend, and he pursued me for a long time, but we've got our companies talking with each other, and so far we're seeing some really exciting stuff going on. Kamanja is a great platform.
Awesome. And I just want to bring up, this is something that's kind of unique, and I don't know, the planners behind these various scheduling of these various different shows, that the PitchIT program, it's all a community, right?
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
are meeting a lot of different really cool competitors, but it's also co-opetition, right? You guys are cooperating, you guys are working together, and I'm excited about that. Shai, do you want to speak to that a little bit? Like, your engagement with Larry, but maybe there's other vendors in this PitchIT program that you're working with as well.
Yeah, so I met Larry, I think, in the last year.
Yeah.
And since then it was like, all out from the first side. So we just keep connected, and the beginning just a friendship. We just talk often, and then we met again in some events and etc. And then he told me, "Oh, you must show your platform to my colleagues." And from there, everything just exploded. I don't know if Larry want to start telling something right now about what we are doing. I will keep it for Larry to start talking about it. But we're going to release something that's going to blow everyone's minds in terms of compliance and cyber insurance, something that the market will never seen before, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to save MSP so much money, so much time from compliance and from the cyber insurance. So
Yep.
I
No,
let
Shai's right.
Larry the stage.
Shai's doing some magic behind the scenes here with his platform, and our data science team and product team are working hand in hand with them, just like we do with a whole bunch of platforms out there. Because that's one of the things that we try to do is there's so many great platforms out there. We really try to play cyber agnostic or cyber Switzerland in a way, because there's many things that we can integrate with. Matter of fact, we'll be working on integration with ConnectWise and all of that fun stuff, and that's a direct result of us being involved here in the PitchIT competition. So and like you said, Adam, it's friendly competition here, because Shai's a good friend, a fantastic company, and there's many others that are involved that I'm good friends with. I've been in the channel for a long time, and there's some stiff competition, and I'm honored to be going up against some of these guys and ladies. Sorry about that, didn't mean I meant guys general. Hey, but you got to be careful.
Oh, for sure, understand. Look at the insurance guy is covering his bases.
You got it. You got it, baby. Got to cover those bases.
He's very good at that. Larry's very regimented. He's like, here's your checkbox that I'm going to talk about here. It's like the movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, and he's like, I have one question broken up into 27 parts, and that's Larry talking about cyber insurance at this point.
That is.
I know. And actually, coincidentally speaking, though, the reason why Shai's in this with you is partly because of you. You had told me about Kamanja.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few of you that referred Kamanja, so that's you did say we are in a competition for PitchIT, but as far as the overall everything of the industry, this is a collaborative industry. It has to be for success. So
it has to be. I mean, we're all here to help MSPs do their job better, do their job more efficiently, help their customers, protect their customers, and protect the MSPs themselves. So
absolutely.
And Shai, what a great young guy. He came up to me, he's like, you got to see my platform. I'm like, okay, let me take a look at your platform. And Shai, as Sean will remind you, I'm an old guy, so it takes me a little while to kind of to let this stuff soak in. So the second time I saw Shai, like he said, I brought along Des, and I was like, hey, would you show this to Des? I want to see what her thoughts are. And Des took a look at it, and she's like, whoa, that's some pretty interesting stuff. And then we progressed on from there. So it's all about collaborating together, working together, all to help the clients, help the MSPs as well.
Yeah.
And I don't really have to remind anybody. They can see that you're old, so it's fine. So I don't have to remind anybody.
My gray is about the same shade as yours. So
yours is not. Yours is white. Okay, and maybe your age, you also forget what colors are what colors. So so
Larry,
yeah.
Larry Sean tried to hide his age because he shaved his head. So
Shai. Nobody asked you.
Sorry. My bad.
Sit there quietly. Anyway,
Adam's over here like, can I get control, please?
This is 2 weeks in a row we've been talking about age.
Oh, goodness. HR.
Yeah. So, one of the big struggles is dealing with the compliance, but then also dealing with the insurance, right? And that I think that's you guys are like a married couple here.
Yeah,
to some
hand in glove. Hand in glove.
I mean, I wouldn't go the O.J. Simpson reference, but
no, let's not go there. Oh Lord.
If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Got
no
it.
acquittals here.
Yeah. So I'm just, what kind of traction have you kind of gained? When did Shai, when did you start, this Kamanja and cyber, platform that you created? When did you start that?
Yeah, so actually it started when I was in my last company. We need to do the ISO compliance, ISO 27001, because we work with global companies, and we didn't have money, we didn't have the knowledge, and when we start talking with people, it was super expensive, and we need to buy so many solutions and knowledge and etc. And then my company just, okay, Shai, you should do the training about it. So 4 days training of the ISO, start implementing it. And I'm a very technical man that I like solutions and open source tools and tried, to do everything that I can to automate the process. And then the idea just came because I didn't find something that would help me. And I guess 1.5 years ago, little bit even more, we start developing the platform. We have a team that they start developing together with us. And in the last August, we launched it in Israel, and we onboard one of the two big MSPs, public companies in Israel. They help us develop the platform, by the way. They was our MVP trials. And in October, we launched it on US, where I met Larry. And since then, we just, try to crush everything, right? Running without stopping. Same as Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Well put, like Forrest Gump. Exactly. He's a real American hero. Good call.
Run, Shai, run.
So a question then, did you notice a difference in the way you had to approach and deliver difference between Israeli MSPs and the US?
Absolutely. The market is different. We're working also in India and in Singapore, and we see that all over the world, the market is different from pricing perspective and the culture. It's quite different because MSP is in some places, in terms of compliance, I don't know about other things, are selling it differently. And for example, in Israel, they use a lot, the MSP is, they have their own GRC, the biggest of their own GRC team that implement it as a project base. And we try to educate them, okay, now let's move into monthly recurring revenue because you don't have stickiness with your clients. So right now, this year, they can do it with you, but what about next year, right?
Sure.
There is a lot of compliance expert in Israel, and everyone try to make it cheap as possible, but does cheap make the goal, make your company objective? I don't think so. So we gave them the tool that make them very stickiness and go to recurring revenue instead of one-time project. And this changes mind. It changed their mind. So yeah, but it's different.
Okay, yeah, and I think it's something serious to really consider, because I assume that on Larry's side of the house, it's also going to affect how he would do business if he was doing business with the Israeli MSP and deliverables for compliance, right? Because we know that everything that you do and the other products all roll up into the cybersecurity insurance piece, right? Ultimately, yeah. I mean, that's so. Do you have the same? So how did you guys pivot when you came to work stateside with clients? What was the different things what were some of the different things you do, and how did you keep up with it?
So we changed dramatically our pricing and go-to-market strategy. This is the first thing that we have done. So after a few months of working in the MSP industry, we just get the honor to have a board of the leaders of the MSP in the market that help us to change the pricing that fit what the MSP need. So we all the time focus on MSP and education, make them implement compliance easy and educate. It comes together not only for the compliance perspective, also how to sell it and marketing it. So Kamanja bring business, not a tool. We helping them to provide compliance. The Kamanja platform supporting them. So this is why we can help them to have a new stream of revenue and do a lot of upsells during our platform. So for example, there is tons of security solution in the market. How do you know which one is the right fit for your client, right? So once you do compliance, you can start small. And this is the meaning of the name Kamanja. So we tailor-made the compliance for the client. So during the compliance journey, you can tell them, in the beginning, maybe you don't need EDR, but in few couple of months, you grow and you may need. So let's start with some policy that will cover it right now, and then we can grow. This is a small example. But then you have a lot of markup that you can do. If you want to do CMC and etc., you must buy some solution that you need to buy. So if the client told you before, I don't need it, but you want to be CMC compliance, right? So you must do it, and you will buy it from me. Easy. A new stream of revenue, a lot of upsells. And if we keep talking all the connection to cyber insurance, it's a lot of things, but our focus was educate MSP and bring them more money. That this is at the end, right? So
okay, you done?
Yeah, sorry.
You sure?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So back in third
I hope
grade, I did this. Okay. So if I understand from that long-winded response, you focused on adjusting the way you priced out. You did that based off talking to MSPs that were actually leaders in the space here. And then you also focused on the education piece. The difference between the two is that you're providing a service and a platform, because the service is actually the education and compliance. The platform is a means of which you're going to deliver this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Moving on. Got it. So, Larry, with that said, it is impossible, I would imagine, for you to keep up with somebody like Shy overseas, or are you guys doing business overseas also, or is it all domestic?
No, right now we're just in North America, North America being defined as the US and Canada, with the exception of Quebec, because Quebec is Quebec. They do things a little bit differently there, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, you know, it's kind of a crawl, walk, run strategy. So we're still in the, I think we're at the walk phase. I mean, we're doing pretty good. We're licensed in all 50 states, licensed up in Canada. And, you know, we kind of quietly entered the channel back. Oh, am I getting a little long-winded here, Sean, or can I keep going?
I'm just, you know, I'm thinking about things as you talk. I'm sorry. Oh, no, you're doing well.
Okay. I just want to make sure, you know, I don't want to offend you or anything. No, so we kind of quietly entered the channel around January, February, March of 2021. I ended up getting hired at DataStream in December of 2021, and we kind of hit the ground running last year in 2022, hit a bunch of shows, you know, building that brand, just getting out there and letting people know who we are, what we do. And, you know, we added a substantial number of partners in 2022. We've added almost 50% of that just in the first 5 months so far of 2023. So we're definitely growing, and it's been interesting because, you know, I'm hearing a whole different story than I did when I first joined. When I first joined, they were like, "Ooh, insurance, we don't want to talk to you." But now all of a sudden, people are kind of like, "Hold on, wait a second. Compliance and insurance are driving spend for MSPs. It's accelerating the sales cycle. Like I said earlier, it's reinvigorating dormant sales cycles." And really what it is, it's an educational process. You've just got to educate people and get them behind this idea that cyber insurance and compliance is not going away anytime soon. Matter of fact, I think you'll see probably in the next 10 years, most businesses are going to be required to have cyber insurance. So, you know, that's where we're going. And we're just here to, again, be that resource, help educate, and help drive spend for the MSPs.
So let me ask this.
I'm sorry. I have one question and I'm done. I promise. My question is only this. Does the insurance cover, is it suggested this insurance should cover MSP only or MSP and end user?
No, so.
Was that your question? See, you're welcome. Thank you.
So exactly. So a good cyber insurance policy is going to cover both first party and third party, and it's going to cover many different things: ransomware, business continuity, different things like that. And, you know, a good policy is not a rider on a commercial general liability policy or a business owner's policy. I hate to tell you folks, if you've got one of those and think you got cyber insurance, you better read through it, because I don't think you're covered very well. So that's why the only thing we offer are standalone policies.
Do you guys review other people's policies for them and tell them what's missing?
Absolutely, we do. We do that free of charge, and we want to do that. And, you know, I've got plenty of people, we're not here to do a bait and switch. If they've got a great policy, we're going to be the first one to tell them, you've got a fantastic policy. Don't do a thing. At renewal, if you'd like additional options, please come to us, because we can help you with additional options. But right now, your policy is very sufficient for the size of business that you have. Yet, a lot of times when we do these policy reviews, we see that people are vastly underinsured, or things like maybe social engineering is not covered in their policy, or they have a sublimit of $25,000 for ransomware. I mean, there's lots of things you got to look for. And, you know, I think it's the result of so many local agents kind of jumped into cyber insurance, said, hey, we got a new way to make money. But man, these guys don't understand cybersecurity and everything that goes into it. So that's why it's best to work with a specialist.
I have one question that's for both of you because of this. Since I already took Adam's other question, I can ask another question now. So with that said, okay, so we know one of the biggest issues that came down the pike about a year or two ago was who's held accountable should something happen, vendor or MSP, right? Because if an MSP is using a vendor's product that happens to be a breach, and I'm not going to mention the names of the companies that had this happen to, they were very big companies, unlike ConnectWise, that didn't happen to. But it became a hot topic, right? We know in California, they started going through legislation on certifications and all that stuff, right? So with that said, then, Shai, well, to you, Larry, first. You mentioned third-party policies. Is that applicable in that scenario, and does that also provide support for the vendor MSP client?
Yeah, on third-party policies, it should provide some type of support. I mean, each situation is different, and it's one of those things that I would have to study the exact situation and see what exactly occurred before I could give you a concrete answer on it. But that's
there's
the whole
ability to have it, though.
Bingo. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the purpose of first and third party. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because, well, you're an insurance guy, so third party could really mean a chicken coop. You didn't name who it was, and you'll get insurance upon death or something like that. You're an insurance guy. I'm sorry. That's the definition of insurance guys. Anyway, moving on. Shai.
I don't even get a chance to.
I know. That's perfect. So Shai, the question to you then is, because of the exact same scenario I mentioned where vendors have to onboard MSPs and train them on their stuff, and then for them to deliver to end users, does your compliance piece offer that ability to integrate or to provide help in this compliance piece from specific vendors if there is one?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the compliance, most of them is supply chain management. So, or the PSRAM, third-party supply chain management. So we integrated in our platform this part, huge part of scenario that MSP can manage for their clients all the supply chain journey, from onboarding, vulnerability assessment of the supply chain, manage all the relevant, send questionnaire, send policies, do all the process to analyze the risk of the supplier and make the right decisions.
Got it. Perfect. That was. Thank you for not being long-winded.
I try to keep it short and simple. I don't want you to shush me. So sorry.
Bravo. Look at this education on the fly here on the show. All right, Adam, I'm done for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I'll just say I'm running a consulting agency. Yeah, I'm running a consulting agency, right? And it's like, okay, hey, I have all these insurance policies like most businesses. And it's like, hey, well, can you look at our Hartford policy or whatever, our general liability, professional liability with Philadelphia insurance, all this other stuff we have. Larry, can you take our policy and review it and be like, yeah, is cyber in here or not? Because we keep asking for cyber and making sure we have it. They think that we have it and all that stuff, but we have to be certain of that.
Yep.
Right?
No, Adam, great question. Absolutely, we can. Just send it over. We'll take a look at it, and we'll tell you right on the spot. Hey, you have some cyber coverage. You don't have some cyber coverage. It's a rider. It's a standalone. You name it. I mean, we can easily help you identify, and we get it. You're not supposed to be an expert at this. We're supposed to be the experts. So that's why we're here to just kind of help do that for you, and we can do it for your clients as well.
Okay, and so with that, so do you offer more than just cyber? Is it only cyber, or is it general and professional liability and all that as well under one roof, or are you just only cyber?
All we offer is cyber for your SMB clients. Now, for MSPs and MSSPs, we can offer cyber and tech E&O.
Okay.
But your clients don't need that tech E&O. So, I mean, that's all. Correct, that's really what we focus on.
Okay. Perfect. All right. That helps out our audience and so forth as well. So that's so E&O and cybersecurity rider policies, and then you can go out and get your professional liability, whatever, all that stuff. So, okay. And so along with that, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm assuming there's partner programs for both your organizations for the MSP, but also because I imagine DataStream, you sell to the MSP, but then you also sell to their clients, right? Is that correct?
Well, yeah, when it comes to insurance, it's a little bit different than the traditional vendor in the channel because insurance is highly regulated. And for anyone to be able to sell insurance, they've got to be a licensed insurance agent. So the way
Correct.
we work with MSPs and MSSPs, it's a referral. We're here, we give you lots of free tools. Matter of fact, everything we do for the MSPs, totally free. All we ask is that you introduce us to the SMB customer so that we can start having that conversation with the customer on, let us review your policy if you already have one, or if you don't have one, let us educate you on why you need cyber insurance, why it's important. But what we also do for the partners is we do have a pretty lucrative MDF program. We also have lead generation. MDF is marketing development funds to help MSPs grow their business. If you need us to come attend an event or sponsor a webinar or anything like that, we're glad to help with that as long as you're a partner that's referring customers to us. We've got a lead generation program where we actually send SMB leads to the MSPs. And then we've got a few other little perks and things like that. It's again, because it's highly regulated, we cannot pay commission. But what we can do is we can pay to educate and we can pay to do data exchange back and forth. So we work with the MSPs to learn what type of security posture they've put in place for various customers so that we can help those customers with their insurance applications and questionnaires.
So to break it down in simple terms, you do offer a channel program?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And is there any kind of monetary gain for the MSP through you guys? Like, is it a referral program? Because obviously you have to sell it to them because you're the licensed insurer. So with that, are you paying them a commission or something, or what is that like?
No, you can't pay commission. You can pay a referral fee, but quite honestly, it's kind of pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Usually the states regulate it somewhere between $25 and $40. Most MSPs are like, I'm not interested in that.
It's not worth the work.
We dump it back into the MDF funds and help the MSP with the MDF funds when they want to do an event, webinar, different things like that.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. It's reasonable considering you're held by law.
Yeah.
So,
it's an interesting position. We just can't. Yeah, it's not us being stingy. It's by law. We can.
So the real value add is the actual just being insured and having that peace of mind. Really, is what it comes down to, and you're a part of their sales force essentially at that point.
You got it. Matter of fact, I've had a couple of our great MSP partners tell me, Larry, this is working fantastic. We don't have to sell anymore because we bring you into the process. You get to be the bad guy. You get to reinforce what we're trying to sell them. And you're that third party unbiased resource. Now we just take orders. So, and we're seeing that more and more.
Perfect. And Shai, I guess the same question for you, right, Adam?
Yeah, same question.
Program. Got you. See?
Yeah, thank you. So we have two programs. Actually, one, the first program, it's for MSP that's working with us already. So we call it the way to success. The way to success is starting from getting ready. How do we build go-to-market plans? How we educate them how to do marketing, sales, go-to-market plan, how to onboard the client quickly, and then QBRs, KPIs, and repeat. It's like the infinity. This is the first program that we have. The second program that we launched last month, it's how to adapt compliance in 40 days for MSPs. So with that program, we explain what is compliance as a service, how do you can start working with compliance, and how again onboarding, how to onboard quickly your client. So this is what we're offering, and we see that it's worked great. We all the time try to improve our technical stuff and our marketing stuff. Materials are changing all the time, all the collateral change, and we build together with the MSP value per position per his business, depend on what you're offering, what is all set of solutions.
So you're offering, is this a resale program, like for where they're getting paid commissions, or is this a white label program where they can add their own margin on, or what does that look like?
So we provide them a base price and they mark up how much they want. Again, the idea of the idea of Kamanja is not to sell Kamanja product. It's to support their compliance and service solutions.
Mm-hmm.
They need to sell themselves, not sell Kamanja. It's different. We try to support them.
So that means the MSP is actually your buyer then always.
Absolutely.
So the customer doesn't know you really exist.
No.
They just know that they have this set of tools and you're part of this or whatever you are, right? Okay.
Yep.
So you don't have pricing listed on their website or anything like that.
No. We sell only through MSPs, through only two channels, and once we have leads, we redirect them to the MSP that's working with us, depending on the region. For example, last week we had a client in Europe, so I asked few MSP that refer me some and another MSP in Europe, and now we are starting the process. Same goes here in Israel. We have a lot of end clients here. We send them to our MSPs in Israel. We don't sell directly.
So that's a pretty strong statement then, because that's what I mean. MSPs have a traditional concern about vendors taking their business, right?
Our solution developed for MSPs.
And I'm not going to mention the name of the company that really started that, but it rhymes with loft at the end, and there's a micro involved too. But anyway, they, and it became a very big concern. Icro Loft, they're a great company. They have a good partner program. The problem is that people are concerned about taking their business. What you're saying is you're completely channel only, which is good.
Yeah, the platform designed with MSPs for MSPs. Yep. It's not from the beginning. It's not designed to sell directly. All the ecosystem of the platform, it's for MSPs. So
cool. All right. I'm sorry, Adam. Go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool. So Sean, I'm going to ask this question: kind of, what is the next big milestone for your, for Kamanja, and how are you working towards it? Right? You kind of mentioned something earlier, some big news, exciting news. I guess that's the next big milestone. Can you talk a little bit about that here?
Yeah, so we start a series of educational webinar about compliance. Every week, something like that. We bring some thought leader from the MSP market and that help us to educate the MSP. But this is our big goal is to be the default product in the market for MSPs when talking about compliance. This is our goal. It will take time to reach there. I know that. So we have a lot of milestones in the journey. Number of MSP to onboard, how to again all the time getting improve of our programs and etc. But we're working on quarterly goals. So our first goal is getting more exposure, getting more MSPs, and spread the news about our programs. That the 40 days adoption of compliance is free of charge program that we tell MSP just come talk to us. We train you how to do compliance free, just easy.
Nice. Awesome. That's really slick. So Larry, same with you. What is, I don't know, like, is it number of customers? Like, what's the next big step for insurance? I mean,
we keep coming out with, or we're coming out with new tools all the time, integrations as well, just to try to make it that much simpler for the MSP and for the customer as well. I mentioned earlier, we just launched our incident response plan builder. Literally, you can go in there, take 10 minutes, fill it out, boom, we'll print out this nice 12-page incident response plan that you can hand to your clients. We've got the collaborative application now to where the client can come in, start filling out the application. They don't know the answer to some of their technical questions. They can invite their MSP to come fill that out, and boom, we make it easy, and we get those lengthy, ridiculously worded questionnaires off of the MSP's plate. So they're not having to spend all this time answering those questionnaires. We make it very easy for them. But right now, as today, June the 28th are we on? And we are a broker with 40 carriers, but ultimately we're planning on launching our own insurance product at some point in time in the near future. So we'll also have some ability, when you broker another policy or another carrier's policies, you can't do anything to potentially discount premiums and stuff like that based on security posture. But when you do have your own product, that comes into play to where, if they've got a better security posture, then hey, maybe we'll be able to do something to help reduce some of their cost, because we realize that those measures are going to definitely reduce their risk. So that's kind of where we're headed.
So you are taking into account various pieces now, which is good, because I think if you look at a vendor or anybody creates their own product, like you said, they can have their own layers of security on, which may adhere to the policy you're trying to create, which will discount their price. But if in the world of cloud-based almost everything, that's difficult for MSPs because they're literally working with multiple vendors, and there's too many. So it becomes you're reliant on all the vendors providing security the way they should for their own products, along with the MSP doing their job, along with the end user doing their freaking job.
You got it. And that's where some of these alliances come into play. Like with
I'm already tired, by the way, from that.
Yeah.
That was exhausting.
We should be able to, once we get the integration completed with you guys and stuff like that, we should be able to segment and say, okay, if you're a ConnectWise customer versus the general global set of customers out there, if you're using ConnectWise platform, perhaps you are 12% less risky or a 12% less chance of any type of security incident. So therefore, if you're using ConnectWise, you may qualify for a discount. I'm just trying to spit that out, and I don't think I spit it out too well.
You're doing really well. No, because you're integrated with ConnectWise and any of their partners, they can get a discount because they're involved with us, and you're part of the certified integrated program. The end. Done.
Yeah, as long as they say they don't know Sean Lardo, they're good. But if they know you,
then they get an extra.
The price
discount.
is getting higher.
Yeah. Then they get extra discounts so they can pay for their copay for therapy. So that's
the bingo.
Larry, I got to ask a couple questions here. So DataStream, so looking at the resources, it looks like you guys have a podcast. And I go to Cybercrime Podcast. It looks like a great podcast you got going on here. It looks like a Chinese background here, though. I will say that.
It's really cool. We do have a podcast. It's our CEO, Andy Anderson, who's one of our co-founders. And he didn't want to do a techie podcast. He wanted to talk about the emotional, the human aspect of what happens when you suffer some type of security incident. And some of the stories that are out there are, and we try to keep it short. They're usually like 15 to 20 minutes, but some of the stories are really impactful. I mean, there's a story about an MSP that suffered during we're not going to name any names here, but there was a pretty significant breach about 18 months or so ago. And, it's an MSP, actually a good friend of mine. And in this podcast, he's talking about, I had to tell my business partner to please take the keys to the gun cabinet because I didn't know what I was going to do. That's the human side. And that's what people, I don't think, take into account. SMBs are the target right now for the bad threat actors. And 75% of SMBs are not financially prepared when they have some type of security incident. So it's scary stuff out there. And these people put, just like MSP owners, you guys put blood, sweat, and tear equity into what you're doing to build your business, and your clients do the same thing as well. So again, it's all about just making sure they're protected.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, that's really, really, really awesome. I love hearing stories because you know what, you learn from people when they tell stories and they've gone through it. I've gone through this before, so here's what you need to handle it, right? Right? You just like when you go, I want to go to somebody who's been through bankruptcy, or somebody who's been through a divorce, or somebody who's been through certain criminal proceedings or whatever, just because they know the process, they know the system, they know what to go through, right? And they can kind of give that great guidance. So cool podcast. I just have to get on your site and so forth.
But that's a good segue into something, though, right? You just said you want to work with somebody that has done this, right? So my question is, how much hands-on or white glove approach are you doing to help me, for both of you? Like, if I come to you and I don't know anything about this, right? This is your world. What's the experience like with you guys with it? What's the engagement look like? Shai, I'll start with you first, though. What's that engagement look like when I come aboard? You sign me as an MSP, then how easy is it to do stuff?
So the first thing that we're starting is with our partner program. So we start to set goals with go-to-market before we even start talking about compliance on anything, because this is the first thing that you need to see, the business side. After that, we start to sign the goals. We understand your business, your value proposition. We start working on doing the compliance journey. So we automate as much as possible. You can't automate everything in compliance.
Sure.
But what we did is make it as a journey. So you don't need to learn everything from the beginning, but you don't need to open the framework and start learning it, because we're supporting you during the process. We are your expert during it. The platform taking you through the process, and we supporting the platform as a compliance experts that helping you to learn the process. After 2-3 implementation of compliance, you can start do it by your own. So you don't lose. We don't want to lose MSP time on learning new product. We want them part of the program, achieve something, and he can start doing it first on his own, right? So once he can choose SOC 2, ISO, I don't know, any type of compliance, and we learn him on his own company how we can do compliance, and then the end of it, it's like, oh, I compliance with some framework, and then the next step, it's okay, let's do it, let's duplicate it to your clients.
Okay, so do you have a structured pathway for me when I come aboard, because you're the expert? Are you because you mentioned a few different compliance pieces like SOC 2 and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you have a pathway for me to take?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it depends. First of all, as I told you, we set the goals in the beginning, and we understand your company, and then we can choose together which one of the frameworks do you want to starting with.
So the goals are based off of you assess me.
Yeah.
You tell me what my journey should look like.
Absolutely right.
Okay. And let's say I need everything, right? How long? What's the length in working with you on this? Like, how long will it take me to get onboarded and be ready to go?
With everything, with all the compliance frameworks, it's a long ride. So honestly, we have cross mapping between all of them. So we choose the highlight, and once we finish it, we're telling you what left on the rest. But the idea is that we need to start small, and like this.
Okay, let me rephrase the question then.
Yeah.
How long would it take me to do all this stuff without you? If I went on my own?
Couple of months, I think.
Okay.
A couple of months, and with us in a
for
couple
everything?
of weeks. Not everything can take you a couple of years. So
okay.
it depends on
so
you.
Based off what you just said there, a couple months to a couple weeks. So if I use that simple, if I use that ratio, basically you take a couple of years, give or take. Without, and with you would take what, like 9 months?
Something like that. But again, it depends on your collaboration and how much you invest on it, right? So if you took brutto or netto, it depends. But yeah, it can be a couple of months instead of a couple of years.
But the point is, working with you helps me expedite.
Absolutely right.
Larry, what about you? Interacting with you?
So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to kind of counteract on something that you said earlier about me being an insurance guy. I'm actually
Larry, thanks for your answer. Shy. So when we were talking about
channel, shut up, Sean. You know, I'm a channel guy that happens to now be in insurance, and I'm loving what we're doing. But, you know, I've been in the channel for 20 years. And look, this channel is all about relationships. It's all about earning trust. And that's exactly how our team treats everyone. I could not be more proud of the team that I have on the partner side of things. And we've got a great agency team as well. Everybody's fantastic. But, you know, we brought Desiree Thomas over, who was with Datto and then was with Kaseya after they bought them. But Des joined us. And then we've got a couple of partner success managers in Auburn Day and John Reith that are just absolutely fantastic. I'm always getting compliments from our partners about these guys. But we have a partner portal that's out there for self-service for all of our MSP partners. You know, you were asking, you know, how long does it take somebody to kind of come in here and do it? With ours, basically within 30 minutes, they should be able to have everything that they need. They can download white papers. They can download, you know, industry specific information. And, you know, we also we've got a sales playbook. We work with the MSPs and say, okay, here's what you say to a customer that already has cyber insurance. Here's your objections that you can overcome and different things like that. And here's what you say to clients who don't have cyber insurance. And we coach them through all of these things. And we're always available as well. And this happens frequently. They'll call me up and say, hey, can you jump on a call today? I've got a client that's got a few questions. I'm a little uncomfortable. Can you handle it? We'll jump on that call and help walk them right through.
Perfect. That's a valid question too, because they need to understand that you're in a space, both of you are in a space that's so Wild West at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That there's so many unknowns. And I hear a different definition of everything from everybody I talk to. So I don't even know. But I'm done. Adam, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's only Adam, that's the fourth time he said he's done. So
that's what I wanted to say right now.
I mean, I'm done for this moment, and then it's gonna come back. Like, I'm sorry. I'll treat it like a telegraph, like stop.
So in wrapping up this show, so there's a couple questions I have for you. What is the one key message you want our audience to take away from your service? You know, Shai, I'll go with you first. what's the one key message?
Don't afraid to do compliance and try to take advantage of it and make money from it, and don't see the dark side, see the bright side of it, and now you can do a lot of markups and do a lot of money from that huge, or huge opportunity. This is how we call it, and thinking about this as a journey and not as one-time project and we're done. Yeah.
Awesome. And one final question for you, Shai, is, if you were to win the competition, what would you do with the prize money?
I don't know. Actually, if we win it, it's like will be a team effort. So we need to think with the team what we should do with it, right?
I like scotch, cigar, bourbon. So just
okay, no problem. You got the scotch.
But so does Larry, though. Is there everything I said I like? Larry also likes. So you could buy for the two of us.
I was just saying.
So you got the scotch. You got the
scotch,
but I think the money will go to my team and help us, to improve what we do right now in the MSP market. So, like, what we do is going to invest back in the MSP market, education, and improve our solution for them, and do the best as we can.
Awesome. Appreciate your time, Shai. Larry, what's the one key message you'd like to have our audience take away from your service that you're offering, the insurance?
I'm going to echo Shai a little bit here. Guys, compliance and insurance is the MSP's ally. These are the things that are driving spend. I know I've said it several times. It's driving spend. It's accelerating spend. So find someone, hopefully it's us, to be a partner with that can help guide you through this journey. But if it's not us, find somebody that knows what they're doing with cyber insurance. But, we feel that we were doing a pretty good job here. And, we're here once again. We know how busy MSPs are. We're trying to make this, as we call it, stupid easy for everyone, and just make it cookie cutter simple, where you come in here, just fill out a couple of things, boom, you've helped your customer out. Your customer now has got all of these options in front of them for cyber insurance, rather than having to go and fill out 10 or 12 different questionnaires. They can just do one with us. So again, it's really just about making life simple for everybody.
Awesome. That was great, Larry. Sean Lardo. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, last question. Would you, if you won the prize money, what would you do with it?
Man, I'm going to Disneyland. What are you talking about? No, I'm going to reinvent. We obviously, again, as Shai indicated there, it's a team effort. We're a startup. We've done some amazing things over the past 18 months. But obviously, if we won this competition, it would mean a lot to us. But it would also give us the ability to reinvest back in the channel, reinvest in our partners, reinvest in continuing to make ourselves better and provide better value for our MSP and MSSP partners out there.
Awesome. Sean, you look like you're not done. You look, you're just sitting
No,
there.
I was going when Larry was going to run for office.
You were
he was very presidential. And,
Oh, Lord,
I was waiting for the hand, because all the great speakers put that hand with their thumb like this when they talk, and I'm telling you, the money will go to my team. And great effort as a startup. 4 score. And chance where Larry was there when that speech happened.
There is no presidential run in my future, because I've hung out with you way too long. So there are skeletons that we have uncovered.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them. You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Tell everybody. I would sell that story for a lot of money. You're right. No. So final notes. I appreciate it, guys. I think this is a great live stream. I hope people watch this, that listened to it, that had questions, that I hope they were answered, because holy hell, like I said, you guys are in the Wild West part of the business. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be, a decade in adoption, legitimately, Yep. And again, Larry, you and I have been in sales for a long time. So compliance and sales don't typically go hand in hand. So, because we can't be compliant. We have to ask for forgiveness, not for permission. And that's the way business works. And by the way, that's what small business owners, that's what they do, right? They have to they literally have to trailblaze through things, and they have to ask for forgiveness later to make some sort of reduction at times. Not always, but we know it happens. The point I guess I'm making is that if there's a way that you can make me compliant without me having to really change the way I do business is what's important, right? Now, I know there's things I'll have to change based off compliance needs, but again, that's why I was so stringent on like, how do you help me do this shit? How do you get me rolling? How do you make it easy for me? So you have to, and I'm glad to see you focus on automation pieces when needed and pick up a lot of slack by reviewing policies, because I wouldn't know what to do with that either. So otherwise I'm done. Again, I'm sorry, over.
It's all good. So awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Cyber insurance and managing your cyber stack is really super important. You heard it from these guys live, from Shai and Larry. I really appreciate your time today. It's been awesome. I hope you guys review this and view this. I hope to see you actually IT Nation Connect. I would love to see your teams out there connect, socialize, because this is a community. Pitch It Live. We are again here next week, next Wednesday. Is it next Wednesday? Or after July 4th, right? Yeah, July 5th.
That's the 5th, yeah.
July the 5th.
July 5th. And so definitely looking forward to seeing you guys next week, and appreciate it. Peace out. Enjoy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Always good to see you.
Thanks all.